Holy, that's so sketchy. We are preparing to haul out the boat here in Western Greenland, and we have a couple of interesting things to deal with. Number one, they have never hauled out a sailboat here before, so we kind of need to direct the operation. And then number two, will be put into an industrial area next to like some broken excavators and old rusty containers. It's the first time that we've put this boat up on the hut for the winter, and it's the first time for us in many years that we are not actively going to be sailing our own boat during the winter. I will tell you a little bit more about our plans later on in this video. All right, let's go. There's a few things we need to do to prepare, and first up was taking off the sails. This time it felt like we had barely got to use them. After we spent the winter in ice, we only got out in June, so the actual sailing season was very short for us. Then I did a bit of so-called maintenance on our deck paint, meaning that I grind off any paint that seems to be flaking off. This prevents water from getting stuck between the flaking paint and aluminum, which could lead to corrosion years down the line. I usually just grind off any flaking paint once per year or so. I also wanted to get the engine ready for next season, so we then changed our broken alternator. This alternator was a fancy one from Mastervolt, and it charged our lithium bank directly. Unfortunately, it broke, and I decided to go with the budget option and replace it with a stock alternator. What do you think, Nova? Inspector Nova? So now we have two identical alternators. You know, this is the one that's normally on the engine, and these two are now identical, and we also have one spare. So now this is like ultra simple. The most important question is whether it'll work at all. Let's go and fire up the engine. Okay, we call it good. Now it's time for us to get to the other dock, so we get better spot for the crane. It took some organizing, but now the whole town has come together to get us a free spot here on the dock, so we can be directly on the dock. The big fishing boats are moored side by side. People here have been like really friendly and helpful. So with the mast we had to be a bit careful, and I also had to remind myself of how things are supposed to go, because the crane operator had not handled a sailboat mast before. I had to climb the mast a couple of times to set things up, but with a bit of patience and persistence we did get the mast up in the air and safely on the trailer. I think it went really well. But this is like such like Greenland style here, you know. We have like this mast that we're gonna transport through the city, but you know, you don't need like a police escort or any kind of escort. Everyone knows that, you know, when things need to be done, then they need to be done, and everything is like usually very practical. Now we are finding a spot for the mast.
On the container, doesn't matter where.
Yeah, that's
So,
excellent. Yeah,
yeah.
very good. Yeah.
Akin niya, tama na. When do you want the boat up?
I mean, we could do it. We could do it tomorrow if it's okay, or Thursday.
No, I think it's must be
Tomorrow?
no today.
Today.
Yeah.
So we thought that the boat is gonna go up tomorrow or on Thursday, but now we learned that we are gonna do it today. That's gonna be, we need to still do some things with the boat, but should be fine. So now we have 3 trucks working for our project. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're gonna have the mobile crane as well. Now we got this one as well. And here I'm going to interrupt the video to advertise some of my own products. So for this holiday season, I'm bringing back the limited print run, and this is a special one because I've decided to bring back some of my previous prints dating back all the way to Norway. I didn't originally plan to do something like this, but I got so many requests for few specific prints that I decided to offer them again for this holiday season. These come printed on rigid aluminum panels like this, which are ready to hang on your wall. There is no framing required. And this time I also have this one specific print available in this very small size. If you want to get a gift or maybe something that's very simple, then this might be a good option. The other prints also make for great gifts, and getting a print is also a great way to support the video creation and to support the channel. So go and check them out at art.aloringarctic.com, and remember that these prints are only available until the end of February 2026. But if you want to get yours before Christmas, then you should probably order within the next few weeks. The mast is done, and now we suddenly are lifting the boat as well. So we are gonna go to the cruise ship dock.
Just about there. Huh? You need to make a rope around so it doesn't slip.
Yeah. 15 tons, yeah.
Ton. There.
It's more heavy than I thought because without the mast I thought it's gonna be 14 tons.
Now you know.
Yep. Look what we have in the salad. The bottom is actually not so dirty, it's just the rudder. Getting the boat up in the air was the easy part of this whole operation. It was the next part that made me nervous. Setting the boat up on the truck, which seemed far too small, and then driving through the town. Oh my god, this is kinda... Are you going to, we go for a little bit and then we check the straps again? No? Look at that. Oh shit.
Yeah.
To me it looks sketchy. Look at the guys there like watching, like what the... Yeah, I was not very happy about this hill here. So this is like the longest truck in the town. Except if you have like the gooseneck.
The blue one has longer.
Yeah,
But
the boat is too heavy?
yeah, they are scared of that.
Okay. Well, it looks so sketchy, oh my god. Näetkö miten toi keula on niinku ilmassa tossa? Hui! I'm usually not nervous when you haul out boats, but this time I have to say I was a little bit nervous. Now I can like laugh a little bit already, but this arrangement here is like, oh, I don't know, man. The thing is that the ballast of the boat, the ballast ends like here. So we have like quite a lot of weight here in the bow section as well. And you can see here on the truck, like all of the weight is in the back. But I guess it was just enough to strap it down and alright, so first try here failed. We are moving the crane and the truck. The ground is too soft there and the crane was in danger of tipping over, so gonna make a new try, maybe move the truck a few meters. The problem here is that there's just such a limited amount of space that all of the space is very precious. Next spot. It took a bit of back and forth to find a spot that was somewhat out of the way, but with ground that was firm enough for the crane. At this point we again have to be happy about the centerboard that retracts fully inside the hull and the flat bottom plate, which in combination allow the boat to sit upright without any extra supports. The boat transport would have otherwise been impossible, and also setting the boat on the ground is a lot easier this way. Okay, the boat is here and I have changed to my work outfit. This jacket is gonna live its last days when we work on the boat the next few days. Let's have a quick look here. Just a quick check, because the last time that we had the boat beached... When was it the last time that we beached the boat?
1.5 years ago, before the Northwest Passage.
1.5 years ago we had the boat on the boatyard, and now we've been in water 1.5 years, and well, the rudder is really dirty. It's starting to get bad. The rest of the hull is actually pretty good. There's some slime under the waterline and more slime at the waterline. But the bottom paint still looks really good. Might not look so good to you, but it's not flaking off. The bottom paint is just worn out, and this is gonna be the epoxy that's underneath. So that's actually good. It means that we are not building up paint layers, because I see a lot of people like paint a lot of bottom paint and then you build up a lot of layers of paint and then it's gonna start flaking off. Makes the bottom really uneven and look really bad. But this one, you know, we're gonna just paint one layer again and call it good. The anodes look really bad. So these, we should have cleaned these. The propeller looks good, doesn't have any play. The anode has worn out and fallen off. So that's not really so great, but I don't see any corrosion anywhere. Also on the bottom, I don't see any corrosion. The rudder is also good. The bearing doesn't have any play, so that's good. Here all the way at the front, at the bow, we are missing some paint because this here it's been flaking off a little bit because we were going through the ice and breaking through the ice. So I think that's bare aluminum there. Yeah, that's just aluminum there. Sofia is wearing her t-shirt. I'm wearing...
Because I'm already working. That's why you would be too if you were doing some manual labor.
Yeah, I'm gonna start washing the bottom. Unfortunately, there's no running water here and no electricity and no pressure washer. We spent a week repairing the boat for the winter, but sadly I lost the SD card that had that footage. The winds here can be fierce, so just to be extra safe we also had a local carpentry company come by and make a cradle for the boat. Then it was time for the trip of a lifetime for Nova.
No niin. No joo. Nyt me lähdetään sun elämäsi koettelemukseen.
Before this trip, Nova had, for example, never been inside a car, so the ride to the airport was already exciting. We had done our best to prepare Nova for the trip and get her used to being inside the crate, but she was still really nervous. Our biggest worry remained. Maybe she would go absolutely bonkers inside the crate and hurt herself, or maybe she'd break out of the crate.
Ainakaan se ei yritä muuttautua sieltä ulos.
That's where we overwintered.
Onko se lähellä?
First flight was a short internal flight to Kangerlussuaq, and we would spend the night here to catch the morning plane to Copenhagen. Headed to Kangerlussuaq. Nova is in one piece. I think me and Sophie were more nervous than Nova was, but we did hear her whining down in the or back in the cargo compartment. This town is really interesting. So the whole place was formed as a base for military operations. Specifically, it was a US air base, and the location was chosen because the weather here is usually very clear. This is the only town in Greenland that is actually like quite far inland. All the other towns are on the coast. Here the weather is more stable, so that's why they then originally also built Greenland's main international airport here. So all the flights used to connect through here. Nowadays they just moved the main international airport to Nuuk, the capital, but they are having huge problems over there because the weather is just so much worse on the coast.
Kyllä sä voit nukkua. Nuku vaan joo. Nuku vaan.
No,
Kuka siinä on?
no niin,
Kuka siellä
terve.
on?
Terve, oot sä ihan elossa?
On, mutta on se kyllä tässä jännittää.
Nova survived the second flight very well, and we were lucky that Sophie's parents decided to do a road trip and let us drive their car back from Copenhagen to Finland. This was a good thing because, as we had predicted, Nova had by this time learned to hate flying, and we felt like a night in the airport hotel and one more flight would have been too much for her. Yep, Nova, that's a tree. That is a tree. You haven't seen one of those before. That is an actual living tree. We are waiting for the ferry to Finland. It's gonna be like a 4-hour ferry ride. And in other news, I lost my whole camera bag, which also had my passport in it. Luckily now in the Nordics, I'm fine to travel with just the driving license. But the camera bag had my main camera and 3 lenses and my action cam and bunch of other stuff in it. The camera was like fully rigged up with microphone and everything. And we were repacking the car, at a rest stop. We were making things more comfortable for Nova, and I put the camera bag, I think I put it on roof of the car, and we drove off, and we only noticed it like 10 hours later. So that's a little bit embarrassing. I'm happy to report that we made it safely to northern Finland, where the winter is already in full swing. At least someone seems to enjoy the snow. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to check out the print sale at art.alluringarctic.com. See you all next time. Bye bye.